Hey for one, Eggman here with another video, and we have another Gundam beta match for you guys, and this is from a live stream that I did a couple days ago with JCM, which I appreciate him coming out and doing a live stream with me. It was a lot of fun. It was his real first time testing and playing the game, and I can definitely see he got better as we went on throughout the stream, so again, I do appreciate that. If you guys want to find the full live stream, you can find it linked in the description as well, and then we are going to go over the deck list that we used real quick if you guys want to see what we played, and they are linked in the description on my website, Eggman Events, if you guys want to see them and have a saved link for it. But also, I do want to mention that we do have our first Gundam card game tournament coming up at the end of the month. So it's going to be February 25th. It's going to be a webcam and online event for you guys. There's going to be proxies legal too, since I know a lot of people just don't have access to the physical cards right now. So I want to kind of make sure that people do have ways to play this event if they didn't, weren't able to get the cards that they are wanting. You can play 4 copies of any card, right? So trying to just make the best deck that you can in this kind of beta format that we have as well. So it's going to be signups go live on February 19th, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. First place is going to get a box of the first set of Gundam, and then second through fourth are going to be able to get their choice of a starter deck. Once we kind of know what those look like, I'm not going to have you force choose it at the end of the event, but these will be shipped at the end of July once we get the full release of it. But a fun event. It's going to be free to enter, so there should be no reason for you guys to not check it out, and I'm honestly looking forward to it. So anyways, for this event, or for this video and for the match that we have, we've got honestly my favorite 2 decks to play currently in this format right now. We've got the Unicorn Gundam build. This was the deck that I played for it, and this was one that I kind of built on a whim a week or 2 ago, just kind of saying what's the best we can do with kind of a blue focus. And I really like the kind of synergy between Unicorn Gundam as well as Bongager Lynx. It's just cool to get that cycle to have. Honestly, a +2/+2 pilot is really strong, I think, in this format that we have, and we're just really consistent in what this deck gets to do. We're pretty kind of tempo oriented. We have ways to interact by resting stuff with the Amuro Ray pilot, as well as the gun cannon as well. And it's just a fun little deck that is able to get I think a lot of just tempo in its own way. So we just barely splash any green in it. We've got Zaku 2 as well as the Fall Mel, just because they're just 2 of the better green cards for it. But we could almost play this deck mono blue and be in a good spot with it. So this is just kind of the build that I have for it right now. It's been doing a lot of work, and I've been really happy with how good this has been for a format like this. And then probably my slightly more favorite deck, which is the one that JCM played. It's the blue and white kind of Strike Gundam with the white base support as well. So you will see a lot of similar cards where we have the gun tank, the gun cannon, we have the Gundam MA form, we've got Amuro Ray, and obviously our draw cards with a Show of Resolve as well as the white base. But this deck is something that if you get to the late game, you just strictly don't lose. Your opponent just kind of runs out of resources and have to go to top decking, where we normally just have some chunky blockers and usually a base or 2. That's very difficult for your opponent to kind of answer in that way. So early game, we are taking a lot of hits, and we do get down to 0 life, 1 or 2 shields pretty quickly. But if we're able to stabilize from there, your opponent just generally can't establish enough resources to go for game, which is fun. So I think that's strong. I think Strike Gundam's really good. I think that the Kira is such a good pilot for being able to force 2-for-1 trades a lot of the time, and I've been really happy with this build as well. So those are the 2 that we used. Again, you can find them on my website, Eggman Events, linked in the description, and let's go into the game. All right, we've got me on the left with the Unicorn build once again, and we've got JCM on the right with the Strike Gundam build. We're going to look at the first 5 of our deck and decide we don't want it. So to mulligan, once again, we put our hand to the bottom, put a new 5 off the top, and then shuffle, and then put cards down in our shields. Pretty standard there. And then we've got JCM on the right, trying to see what their first hand looks like there. I also want to say, again, JCM, this is his first time really playing the game with kind of constructed decks, and this was a pretty long stream that we did with him, and he definitely got better as we went along with it too, so I really appreciate his time. He's going to look at his top 5 here, and likely looks like he's just going to decide to not keep this either. We do see a good amount of pilots and bases, but nothing really to play on the first turn. So he does do a mulligan. He is also going second. We do see the EX resource on the right here. He will add it a little bit for it, but I do nothing on my first turn. He plays out the Demi Trainer on their first turn. I've still got nothing to do on my second turn. We did mulligan, so I was bricking a little bit, not much to do here. They are playing the Strike Dagger out for 2 and passing it back to me. I have 3 resources right now, so I'm currently level 3 and deciding what to do with it. And looks like we're just going to play out a Zaku 2 for 1, leaving 2 open, and just going to pass it back for JCM. So going to 3 resources, we do have the gun cannon here, and we're going to play out the thoroughly damaged, or the Hayato there. Going to be able to get the rest on the Zaku 2, be able to attack into it with the gun cannon, which will get the repair 1, attacking into the EX resource, and then hitting into the gun cannon in the shield, so putting me down to 5. So pretty aggressive start from JCM. We're going to play out the Gundam, and we're going to actually use the link with Aandroidd there, so that will make us a 5-5 and be able to rest something that really matters right now. We're going to attack technically 6 because we do have our 1 paired effect. We are going to take 2 damage, but repair 2 happens, and we're going to pass it back to JCM here. So this card will help us stabilize, but again, with no base right now, and also no blockers either, he could put you pretty aggressive and put us down to 3 shields right now, and we really don't have much to do about it. So he is level 5 with the EX resource there. We're going to play out the Ailstrike Gundam. Going to attack with the Demi Trainer and then attack with the Strike Dagger. We got 2 Bonager Lynx pilots in our hand, which is quite handy, and we're going to pass it back to us. So we are now level 5 ourselves because we don't have the EX resource. We're going to attack into the Strike Dagger. We are going to take 3 damage, though we're going to repair 2 at the end of the turn. And then we're going to play out the Unicorn Gundam, which we do have the link with it. So we are turning ourselves into a 6-5, technically 7-5 with our Gundam effect. We are also going to be able to draw a card and attack into the EX base, which we do get the removal from it. And we're just going to pass from there. So this is kind of like the idea for the stack, is that we're able to play out these. I might have wanted to attack into the Demi Trainer since that can do some damage too, but they're going to play out the Archangel, which will let them be a base and restand one of their blockers for 2 resources if they desire at the end of the turn, or just kind of midway through the turn. They're going to play out the Strike Dagger, which is going to let them draw 1 and then discard 1. And thinking on the discard there, it looks like we're going to put out the gun cannon there. And then another Strike Dagger for another draw. And we're going to discard, I don't immediately see what that is, but a white card there. So from there, we're deciding what JCM wants to do. We are currently at 4 health with our Gundam. And kind of removing it is nice because then we can get some, otherwise we get the repair 2 as well. So just confirming that, what we are at. We are a 5-5, or 5-4 technically with the 1 damage. So we do take the damage there, and unfortunately, just know if there was the Kira, that would be pretty good for JCM, but unfortunately not having it. Attacking into the base from shields too, so we do establish our white base, and it gets passed back for us. So pretty fortunate for us there with that white base. A really good time to have it since we are going to start having some excess resources to use. So I think we're going to start off, 1, making sure we are at the right resource count, so we will ramp 1 more. And then we're going to pay 2 to be able to play a 2/2 token off of the white base since we have 1 unit out already. And then we're going to play out the Gundam MA form, which is a 4/3, and when paired with a white base pilot such as Aandroidd, we will be able to get another card draw. So you're noticing that there's so much card draw that we're able to have in this, which means we're pretty consistently finding our pilots. We're going to rest the Strike Gundam as well, and we're going to have the Unicorn attack into that, and then we're going to attack the MA into the Archangel, just because that card gets so much value, and I'd rather just get rid of the base while we still can. So we're going to pass it back to them. We're still at 1 shield and 1 base, so we could pretty quickly lose if they have some kind of link with like a Kira and a Gundam. That could be pretty scary. But going to play out the Archangel once again. And we're going to see if there's anything to go with it. Also played out the Show of Resolve to get the 2 additional draws. But without really an aggressive pilot, we're having a bit of a tough time with this one. So deciding what we want to do with it, we're going to attack 3 into the Unicorn. We are going to get the Bonager Lynx back to hand with the effect of the Gundam Unicorn, Unicorn Gundam. And spoilers, I had like an extra copy in it. I only needed 1, so I discarded a different one, but it does return to your hand, and we can get that cycle. They're going to play out another Ailstrike, but no Kira in hand for JCM has made it pretty tough for him to kind of close out this game. And looking at the next play for me, I think I forget to, yeah, okay, there we go. I do get the resource there. I'm going to use 2 to play out a 1/1 token, which is pretty handy. Just having more bodies on board, especially if they have no bases out, that can just represent another damage, which is really nice. We are going to attack our 5 into, our 6/4 into the base, getting rid of it. deciding not to block with the Demi Trainer or the Ale Strike, which I think is wise because they could definitely do enough damage next turn if I don't set up ways to interact with this board. But we're going to play out the Gun Cannon, and then we are going to use the Kai to be able to get the rest on the Demi Trainer. We're going to attack into it with the token. We're attacking 3. I was kind of hoping he would block because I believe I have either a Thoroughly Damaged or a gun tank in my hand to get rid of the L Strike, but they end up having another Archangel base from Shield, so being able to set that up. And then deciding what I wanted to kind of do to end this turn with this 3 additional resources that we have out, and we're just going to play out an MA form and pass from there. So unlikely that there's going to be like 2 pilots for JCM to be able to try to go for game with, and we've got a pretty stacked board with 5. So he's going to play out the Perfect Strike Gundam. This will let you choose something with 1 HP, return it to its owner's hand. I think based on what he had in hand, it might have been better to get rid of the the gun tank, and then use the Thoroughly Damaged to get rid of the gun cannon, since the Thoroughly Damaged can only affect cards that are rested. I did mention it to him, and he decided just he wanted to continue on the play that it was, but not being able to use that, yeah, as mentioned, as you can tell here, he can use it if he wants to. Also, the L Strike, you have to have a pilot with a cost of or with a level of 4 or more, and we're simply not finding it. I swear they exist in the deck, but JCM has been getting pretty unlucky with not seeing the pilots needed to kind of end this one. So just a couple more resources left. Deciding how he wants to answer this. We're going to attack the L Strike into the gun cannon there, which will put it down to 1 HP. This was a mistake. He should not have been able to attack with the Perfect Strike, but spoilers, you can just pretend like he blocked the attack on the next turn with it, because I would have attacked with it, but that was a mistake from us, so apologies on that. We're going to play out the Strike Gundam, and we're going to pass out from there. So we've got, I think, the full 10 resources now for us, so we are going to actually, I might have forgotten to put that extra resource. I'm so bad at that part of it, but we're going to play out the Unicorn. Not that I think it's going to matter. We're going to play out the Bonager Lynx once again, which is going to let us draw a card. We've got the Thoroughly Damaged, which will let us get rid of the Strike Gundam there. We're going to attack into the base. We're going to go 1 into there. We're going to go 4 into it as well. We finally have Akira in hand for JCM, and we're going to pass it back. So he's a little bit concede mentality. We also are going to play out a Gundam here, and he was wanting to concede, but I said we should probably try to play it out and see if there's a line that we could have available to us, especially since, like, looking at what this hand looks like, we do have a blocker and we have a way to set up a base, so that could be the value that we need. So yeah, because we can play bases even if you don't have shields, which I think a lot of people, that's like one of the most common questions I get when doing this kind of stuff. So looks like he's going to decide on what do you want to do there. You can attack the Strike Gundam into the MA form to be able to get the trade, yeah, so that removal happens. Where there is additionally some plays, yeah, we have to play out the Demi Trainer for sure, so that will get rid of a 5 attack. And then from there, we're going to, yeah, Thoroughly Damage, get rid of the token, finally. And then what are we going to do from there? So I guess we could play out an MA form. Yeah, it looks like we've got a second Kira in hand. This also, he messed up the ordering for the tokens. He should have played the token and then played the Demi Trainer. I let him walk that back as well. Just for what it was. It could be a 2/2 token, but it doesn't super matter at this point. So we're going to play out the gun cannon. We have the Thoroughly Damaged, which is going to be able to rest the blocker, and then we've got enough attacks to just go for game. So honestly, I think it was pretty close. I think JCM, there were some times where he could have maybe put out a little bit more pressure and kind of force me to have the defensive tools, but generally it was a really fun match. I really appreciate him again coming over, and I could definitely tell every game we played he got a little bit better and kind of figured out the system. So again, if you guys want to see the full VOD, it's going to be linked in the description, so you make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.